co-class. Excuse me. And there's a lot of information, and I'm going to try and go through it all relatively quickly, but not so fast that it's crazy, and not kill my voice. So let's take a look here. And I don't need this up anymore. Let's get rid of that. All right. Anything else? I don't need this either. Yeah, we'll talk about that in a minute. Okay. So homepage, and I imagine most of you have seen this already, but you can check it out here. This is a support class for the 21 series. So all of you should be enrolled in Math 21A. Most of the class is going to be me showing you math, maybe you guys doing some math with each other. I might even try the breakout groups, which I've never really used before, but I feel like we could probably handle it. As far as the class goes, after the class is over, I will try and edit the videos and then post them to YouTube so that if you wanted to go back and look at them later, you could. I don't necessarily see the need to go back, but I'm not right. People are like, yeah, of course, I want to go see that example again. So those will definitely be available to you at some point. They do take a little while to compile and upload, so they won't be available immediately after class, but certainly not too long after class, they should be posted. And I will usually put them in a module. So if we look over in the modules for a second, eventually there will be more than just this module. There will be a new module, which I will make right now, called Zoom class videos. We can add a module right there. And yeah, we'll put that up at the top. Great. And we'll try to put that at the top. Anyway, so I can move the module to the top. Yeah, excellent. I know I remember what I was going to do. I was going to show you guys this in the student view, right? Because you don't necessarily see everything that I see. So let me go over here real quick and grab this. Yeah. So here is the student view of the class. I'm logged in here as Fake James. That's my student persona. And what I want to show you over here, aside from the stuff that we're already doing, is a couple things. So our class is one of these two. I don't actually remember which one. Let's click on this one and see. Yep, that's the right one. So I just want to show you, and you might already know this, but I'm just going to assume nobody knows anything because then I can show you guys the things. So I really think this color is not my favorite. I want to change the color to something that I like a little better, like this green color here. And I also want to actually name it something like, I don't know that it's workload 921001. I'm going to call it Co-21A. And everyone can do that for themselves if they want to. You don't have to, but you're certainly welcome to do it, right? It's your own dashboard. So we click on it, and here it kind of shows you all the things that are going on, right? So this is the same homepage that I was looking at. As far as how the class is graded, it's really mostly just based on participation. So it used to really just be based on attendance back when we were in person. But since that's not really what we're doing these days, we felt like we needed a little bit more interaction, I guess, or things to grade for the students. So in addition to attendance, which I will be taking each class, there's also a weekly reflection that's worth 25% of the class grade, and a weekly quiz that is graded. Well, it's graded, but you receive all the credit as long as you do it. So there will be a weekly quiz. You'll submit it via Gradescope. Yeah, that's right. That's what I said. Yeah. So I'm just making sure. There's a couple different things I'm doing in a couple different classes. Yeah. Sorry, one sec. I'm trying to remember how. Well, we'll figure that out in a second. But yeah, you'll submit the. You'll scan a PDF of the quiz. You'll upload it through Gradescope. And then I will grade it, and I'll actually give you feedback like you did this right, you did this wrong, here's why you missed points or whatever, missed points. But as long as you do the quiz, you'll get all the points. So really, everyone should pass this class just fine. It's not meant to be hard or challenging in your ability to pass it. It's meant to be hard in that we're learning how to do calculus. And right, I mean, hard sometimes, not so hard other times, it depends. This class is worth 1 unit. It is a workload unit, meaning it only counts towards being a full-time student. It doesn't count towards graduation. So it's not terrible if you don't pass the class, but definitely you want to pass the class because it's good to have the units towards meeting minimum progress. And then I also wrote a thing about you can use the discussion tab in Canvas, which is right here, to communicate with me so that everyone in class can see it. So if you want to ask a question that you think other people might like to see the answer to, the discussions are a great place to do that. And I've already posted a few, right? Do you have any questions? This one I wrote today. Questions for today. I always forget you have to click on the black text, not the like. I want to click here and be like, come on, no, you got to click there, which seems dumb. It does not feel like the right place to click. But here's one I wrote where you can post stuff about what you might like us to talk about in class on Monday. I've definitely got ideas, of course, but if there are specific things you want to see, whether they're very specific questions or more general topics, this is a great place to write it. You can also email me. You can also, those are probably the two best ways. You can also just tell me in person, But yeah, letting me know what you want to see is going to make this class better for you. So if there are things you are curious about or have questions about, or there's a homework problem you're working on, you're like, I have no idea what's going on there, let me know and we'll talk about it. Back to home. Let's see, what else do we need to talk about here? So these are just some kind of general notes. Each unit is in the course is connected to the other one. So basically, it's important that you understand things as we go along, because everything in math kind of builds upon everything we've done before. And if something isn't making sense at some point, it's going to get more and more challenging to understand the later things, because the kind of foundation needs to be there to make sure that the structure we build on top of it is very solid, carrying the analogy further than it needs to go. What else? I'm trying to say too much, but is kind of my placeholder word. So you're going to be hearing a lot of unless I get better at not saying Now I'm like paranoid. I'm going to say it. There, you should be spending a lot of time doing the homework. This thing that I wrote here, which is true, says successful students are usually spending 10 to 20 hours per week doing homework, practice problems, and studying for Math 21A. When I took 21A many years ago, I definitely was spending that much time doing the homework. I might have studied a little too much, but better to be a little over-prepared than a little unprepared. Yeah, 21A was a good class. I enjoyed it quite a lot when I took it. Get help as soon as you need it, or even before you need it. You guys obviously are already in the right place. You are here getting help, understanding 21A. So this maybe applies to you less than other people, because you already are using your resources very well. But definitely, if you find yourself in need of help and I'm not available, there are other math specialists whose websites are all linked right here that you can get help from. There's also student tutors you can get help from, either by, well, actually, if we click on this link right here, excuse me, you can see that there is a virtual drop-in room and one-on-one appointments. These are not live yet. They will be live starting October 12th. So once that date rolls around, you can definitely get help from other students as well. Liana, I see you have a question.
Yeah, sorry. So for the 10 to 20 hours a week studying, is that you're just talking about Math 21A in general, not like just for this class, right?
Correct. Yes. I'm not saying you need to be spending 10 to 20 hours for this class. This class, I expect there to be really very little outside work for this class. Most of what you get from this class will be during class. I will be demonstrating things. I will hopefully be giving you guys problems to work on your own with each other. I know that'll be very hard for me, because I will probably ask you to work on a question, and then I'll have to sit here and be quiet while you guys work on a question. So, but
okay,
I will.
thank you.
What's that?
I said, okay, thank you.
Oh yeah, of course. The only thing you will have to do outside of class is there will be the weekly quizzes and the weekly reflections. The quizzes are to kind of to be a check to see like if you are where I think you should be as far as your classes go. And obviously you guys have different 21A instructors, so not everyone's going to be in the same place at the same time. I'll try to make the quizzes so that there's stuff every class is covered for, at least stuff that we've covered in what we're doing in the co-class. And the weekly reflections are just more of a check on how things are going generally, not specifically, although you can certainly talk about how the math is going. You can also talk about how life is going in general. So just to have a place to kind of check in that way as well. I will also say technically nothing is required, right? If you want to pass the class, you do have to do either all the quizzes or all the reflections and attend every day, or some combination of them to get to 75%. The things are not meant to be hard to do. They're meant to be relatively straightforward. So, and if you find yourself struggling to get through them, let me know. We can talk. I'm a pretty, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know. I'm a pretty easygoing guy. All right. My intent is certainly that everyone's going to pass the class as long as you come and do the stuff. That's the idea, right? I'm here to help you understand Math 21A better. That said, if you don't pass this class, it's also not the end of the world. If for some reason you're just like, I can't ever come, I can't do the things, and I don't really care, it's also not that big a deal. You will get a no pass on your transcript. It doesn't affect your GPA. So I wouldn't sweat the passing or not passing, really. You guys are going to pass. No big deal. Let's see. Let's go ahead and look at the other tabs in Canvas just so we all know what's going on here. The assignments tab has all of your assignments, and I really hate the way they're showing up right now. I much prefer to show by type just because that's the way I like to see it, and it's the way I see it as an instructor. So here are the weekly reflections. Here are the weekly quizzes. I think some of you have already done quiz 0. So if you click on this quiz, it'll show you what you're supposed to do. There's even a video. So this first quiz is just about like actually how to submit the quizzes. So I have a file in here that you go ahead and submit in Gradescope, which we'll get to in a second. And really the part that I want to make sure everybody understands is how you do the assigning of questions and pages. So everyone should do this quiz. It's due by Sunday at noon. You got plenty of time. If we go back, we'll see that I think quiz number 1 might not be available yet. I know it's available, but there isn't a quiz there yet. So quiz number 1 isn't there yet because I haven't written it yet. And if you try to click on the thing to go to Gradescope, it'll just take you to Gradescope, but it doesn't show quiz number 1 because it's not in there yet. So it'll definitely be, now that's a good question. When will the quiz be there? Good question. I think I said, oh yeah, I wrote in the quiz when it'll be there because I like to tell myself what to do. This quiz is due by Sunday at noon and will be available on the Thursday before. So this quiz, which is due October 11th, will be available on the 10th, 9th, on October 8th. So probably even before that, but definitely by October 8th, it'll be up there. And again, the quizzes are not meant, right? If you read this here, you get full credit for doing the quiz. I don't intend for them to last any longer than 30 minutes. Probably much less than that is generally what I'm shooting for when I write a quiz. And again, it's just to kind of test your knowledge to see if things are making sense. They're not going to be tricky. They're going to be straightforward. Be like, do we understand the concepts that are happening currently in the class? Let's see. And then there are also the reflections. Oh, so the reflection, I actually don't want you to do ahead of time because they're supposed to be kind of a how are things going this week kind of deal. But each week, the reflections are going to be, let's look at the first one. I think the first one's a little bit different. Yeah. So we can look, let's look at see, I've got all the things. So here is my teacher view. Let's look at the assignments. Let's look at the reflection one. So for the next reflection, after reflection number 0, here are the kind of things I'm going to ask you to do every week. A brief summary of what's going on in your class, how you think the quiz went, a math question you have, always optional, but always appreciated, a joke or a meme, preferably math related, but it does not have to be math related. I thought about not including this when I first did this last quarter. I was glad I included it. I really needed the jokes. So if you've got jokes, I want to hear them. Yeah, that's all I know. Jokes are appreciated. And then not optional. So there will be a not optional question that I will write there. It'll usually be pretty generic, but always different because I want to know things about all of you all. If something feels too personal, you can say it's too personal, but I don't think I've really asked anything particularly personal. So just, usually if we were interacting in person, I would get to talk to people more, I don't know, more conversationally and not everyone see each other on video. But that is not the world we live in right now. So we will do this instead, and it'll be great. And then the last thing in assignments, just so you can see it, is the roll call attendance. I will try to keep up with the attendance. In fact, that reminds me, there's a couple ways I've thought about doing attendance, but I think for now what I'm gonna try and do is take a screenshot of the participants. I'll do that right now, actually, while I'm talking about it, so I get it out. Oh, there's everybody. You guys can see that, right? Can you see the participants here? No, that's the Zoom. When you share your screen on Zoom, it doesn't actually show you the Zoom things. But I'm going to take a screenshot here while I'm thinking about it. Awesome, cool. So now I can go record the attendance later. Smart, because my friend is smart and she told me that's what I should do. So let's see, discussions we already talked about, right? Oh yeah, there's the thing about graphing with Desmos. I think I think Desmos is a great tool. I will definitely use it in front of you guys and kind of show you a few. I don't know, like I am not a pro user of Desmos by any means, but I've learned a few tricks here and there that I think are useful. I do think it's really important to be able to visualize things graphically without having to use a tool. Like it's good to kind of develop your graphing. There's a word I want to use here that I'm not finding. I find myself searching for words a lot lately that I can't find. You want to develop your graphing competency without having to use a graphing tool. But that said, graphing tools are great and we should use them, but we should also make sure we know how things work when they're not available to us. I haven't posted any announcements yet, but eventually I will. Files. So this is, and also, I mean, all the things I'm saying for our class definitely in some ways apply to other classes. If you're looking for something that your teacher says is on Canvas and you can't find it, go to the files, look in the files. You can see my files here. There's some old quizzes. There's not really any old quizzes. There's one old quiz. You can find all the problem solvings there. The problem solvings are where we're going to get a lot of our practice problems from that we're going to work on together or individually. And you can see the old quizzes as well, which again, I think is the same thing as the other one. Might have clicked on that one already. And then you can't see the photos because they're hidden from you for now, because they're going to come up later and they're going to be a fun surprise. So the photos are not accessible to you, but they are accessible to me. I think that's about it. You can look at your grade, right? It's not exciting. It doesn't look like this for you. This is what it looks like for me, like everyone's stuff's here. As the student, if I look at the grades, right, this is what shows up. And there shouldn't be anything in there yet. There's no total. I've got an F right now in my own class. It's terrible. That'll change. You can click on the thing to get to Gradescope, or you can just type in Gradescope. There's not a lot on Gradescope yet, really. There's just Quiz 0. And I feel like there's one other thing I want to say here. If you click on the Zoom link, depending on your browser, it'll take you to when all the Zoom meetings are. That seems not particularly useful, but it might be, I guess. I don't know. Or if you're like in this browser, it's interesting. In Safari, it takes me there. In Google Chrome, if I do that, it takes me. No, that's the wrong link, James. You're not smart. First day, it's the first day. If I click on the Zoom link, it actually shows me everything in Gradescope or in Canvas. So I don't know why I think it's because my other browser doesn't want to like open something in some way. Anyway, I don't think you need that thing anyway. So let me see. Oh, and then there's this chat. No one's ever chatted with me on Canvas. That's fine. I don't expect to get chats on Canvas, but if you want to use the Canvas thing to contact me, that's the other thing I was trying to think of. You're welcome to. I really have like, who's online? I'm sure it's me. It's me. Yeah. Oh, it's actually fake James who's online. So that's something you could do. It seems kind of weird, but it's an option, I guess. I'm wondering as a student, oh, look, so now I see. Yes. All right. So I can say, I don't even know how you would use this. Like I'm trying to click on here. No, I have no idea. Oh, it's down. Here's the text box down here. Yes, I can write things to myself. So, hey, I have a math question. Okay, I guess that's something. So if you, yeah, email is probably the best way to get a hold of me if you really want to get a hold of me right away. I usually, right, my email shows up on my phone and I'm on my computer all the time. So if you're looking to get a hold of me, that's probably the easiest way. I think in the chat, although I'm not sure because I've never used it before, the chats might be visible to everyone, kind of like a discussion. I don't really know. Use the chat if you want. Use whatever you want. I'll respond. Let's see. I think that kind of covers just about everything I thought I wanted to get through. Not quite. I know there's a couple other things. Let's go back home. Let me show you 2 or 3 more things. So here's my website. It's not particularly exciting. The couple things to make note of is if you click on this link here, you can make an appointment with me, a half-hour appointment, and it'll show you kind of the days and times I'm available. So that's semi-useful. So if you click on like, I want to see James on Tuesday because I have some questions, these are the times I'm available for a half-hour appointment on Tuesday. So that is something. You can also find the link for the office hours, which is right here. So I do have office hours on Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday at 11 o'clock and Wednesdays at 10 o'clock. And I'll just be sitting in here working on stuff. And if people pop in from various classes, I'm happy to help them with every kind of questions they have. That's my cat. One of my cats. I have 2 cats. That's the picture that you'll see when I'm not on video. A student drew that. I like it a lot. And then there was one other thing that was crossing my brain, which was, gosh, it might have left my brain. Sorry. I think it was, no, I guess not. I think it was just the opposite.
The chat feature is visible to everyone, by the way.
The what feature? Oh, the chat. Oh, good to know. So keep the chat PG, right? Yeah. Don't type your credit card info in there. Other people can see it. All right, I think that's all I have to say about the various things. I will kind of say for quiz 0, the one thing I want everybody to make sure that they do correctly for quiz 0 is to assign the questions and pages correctly. So in fact, I made a video of me doing it, which you're welcome to watch. I'm also going to kind of go through it right now because it's not super important for my class. Like it's pretty easy for me, but it does make my job easier if you assign the correct questions to the correct pages. So when you submit a quiz or any kind of document through Gradescope, you're going to submit a PDF because that's what you should do. Don't submit pictures. Pictures are harder to read. And the PDF, I've probably hidden it from myself, but let's go ahead and find it anyway. Where did I hide this PDF for myself? Take your time. Sorry. I know it's in here. It's just taking its time. My computer's trying to do too much work at once. Yeah, I feel like everything's going to crash. I've got the wheel of death. Maybe we'll just not. Maybe we're stuck forever. All right. That seems not good. Well, I know what to do here, so let's do that. Yeah. So anyway, you should go ahead and do that on your own before it's due. There is a video on me of me doing it. And I forget where that is. I think it's, oh no, I showed you guys where it was. It was on the assignment. So if we, just to remind you, if you look at quiz 0, there is a video of me assigning questions pages. It's not like terribly challenging, but I definitely noticed last quarter when I was assigning quizzes, a lot of people were either not doing it or kind of assigning the wrong questions to the wrong pages. So just take a minute to do it right. It's not super challenging, but it is something that'll make my life a little bit easier, and I would appreciate it very much. All right, so do you guys have any questions? Oh, sorry, there's something. Oh no, there's something. So when I'm sharing my screen, I don't always see what's going on in the chat. Does it say 12 a.m.? Because if it does, I'm sorry. My office hours are definitely Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, 11 a.m. to 12 p.m.
Yeah, that's what it said on the syllabus. I was kind of confused.
Does it say 11 a.m. to 12 a.m.?
Yeah.
No, that's smart. I will fix that. That seems, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's definitely the hour that you would think I would be awake at, which is definitely 11 a.m. to noon. And then Wednesday, 10 to 11. But yeah, I need to fix that because that is certainly a mistake. Yeah. Sorry, let me see here. Let me stop sharing because I think I've shared enough. All right, that's a lot of talking. So